The observant among you will be able to see that I am in fact not in my car. I'm in my front room. And there's a reason for this. It is a film review. It is Katie in a car, but tonight it's Katie not in a car. And I'll tell you why. I have mentioned in previous review videos this year that I am now a proud dog mum, but also that my dog isn't great with being left by herself and will bark her head off for hours on end. So it's a little bit trickier to get to the cinema these days. So this evening I borrowed next door's dog to keep Pickle company, and I went off to see a Limitless only, so the audience membership scheme. I went off to see a screening of Air. And this is the new film from director Ben Affleck. Could you make any more noise? You just chill out. Yeah, the dog's there. Dig into Australia via my armchair, apparently. So it is, I don't know what we're up to now. He's done, was it called The Town? And Argo, which I absolutely love, which I think I want to see won an Academy Award for, and if he didn't, then he should have done. So I love Ben Affleck as a director. I love him as an actor. I always have. And when I get to see him and his real life BFF Matt Damon share a screen, I couldn't be happier. Everything from Good Will Hunting to Dogma. And I feel like they were in some of the other Jay and Silent Bob stuff back then. So yeah, I absolutely love watching these two together. Air tells the story of Nike in the early 80s, and it's impossible to imagine now, but Nike in the early 80s was dying on its arse. So nobody wanted Nike shoes. They had a good market with runners, with actual joggers. But beyond that, they were floundering, and Converse and I want to say Adidas, obviously Adidas, Americans say, some British people say Adidas as well. But those two brands had the market when it came to basketball shoes. So this is the story of Sonny Vaccaro. He is played by Matt Damon. He is a middle-aged man, and his job is to find talent, to find players to bring to Nike to be part of, a brand, a launch, whatever. That's his job. That's what he does. And we come into the story when the draft has just happened. So all of the NBA teams have picked their new players, and Nike are trying to decide where to spend their budget, which 3 players they're going to try and bring to Nike. But it becomes apparent very quickly that nobody wants to come to Nike because they're not considered a leading force in the basketball shoe market. The head of marketing is played by Jason Bateman, who plays, I'm going to say it, a twist on pretty much every character he ever plays. That said, I like the guy, and I don't mind him to see him play slightly different versions of the same character. It's fine by me. And he's playing a real person in this. It's the 80s. He's got a mullet. It's lovely. I'm here for it. Matt Damon's got a lovely paunch. Lovely sort of overhang of his trousers. He's not a fit guy. Ben Affleck, as well as directing, plays Philip Knight, who was the CEO of Nike at the time. And it's just about these men trying to change the game. Or rather, Sonny has the idea of not trying to bring 3 players to Nike, but bring 1, and that 1 should be Michael Jordan. He's a rookie at this point. He's never played in the NBA. He's been drafted by the Bulls, and Sonny believes that if they can get him to Nike, then it'll change everything. So it's Michael Jordan adjacent, but it's not Michael Jordan's story. It's the story of the Air Jordan shoe, how it came to be, how the deal was done, the players, the moving parts that made this moment in sporting history. I really enjoyed it. It was nice to see it early as a Limitless screening, although I did have a set to with a security guy on the way in because he wanted me to switch my phone off. and I refused, and then we had a bit of a ding-dong. But apparently, like, the film company are so paranoid about the film being pirated. I'm thinking, in 2023, does anybody really record a film on their phone? Because that's absolutely bananas. But yeah, apart from that, I really enjoyed it. It's very funny. Like I say, I could watch Matt Damon and Ben Affleck on screen together forever. They don't have a huge amount of scenes together, but enough. It also stars Chris Tucker, who I don't feel like I've seen in anything for ages, and he's always really good value. There is not much in the way of female characters. I guess it's just the nature of the business and the industry at that time. This is 1984 we're talking. The one prominent female character is Michael Jordan's mum, Dolores, and she is played by Viola Davis, who is just one of the most incredible and versatile and impressive actors of her generation. I've got no idea how old she is. She looks fantastic. She looked great in lovely 80s floral pastel shirts. But yeah, it's very much Dolores who's calling the shots. Because she knows what she's got. She knows who her boy is. She knows, you know, what he might be capable of. And Michael absolutely knows what he's capable of. So she is fighting his corner. Ferociously protective. Very much calling the shots. But yeah, she's just superb. Like, she's brilliant in everything. I can't think off the top of my head if I've ever seen her turn in a duff performance. I don't think she's capable. So yeah, it's a really good cast. It's a good story. The fact that it's a true story is great. It's well directed. It is very 80s, but it's that really sort of drab corporate 80s with brown sofas and, you know, just not fancy at all. It's not like Stranger Things 80s with big hair and totally gonna yawn. So professional. Yeah, it's not like sort of neon 80s. It's a bit more like drab corporate 80s, but Ben Affleck's unintentionally funny as Phil. Matt Damon keeps winding up the Michael Jordan's agent, Peter. Was it Peter Falk? Don't know. David. Don't know. One of them. I recognised the actor and I looked him up, and his name's Chris Messina, but I didn't look him up. I saw his name on the credits, but I don't know what I know him from, but he was very good. And Matt Damon's really good at winding him up. But yeah, it's a really well put together film. It's an interesting moment in sporting and marketing and footwear history, and with different leads, with different actors in those roles, maybe it wouldn't be as compelling, but like I say, I could watch those two forever. Jason Bateman's great. Chris Tucker's great in all the scenes he's in. It's a really, really interesting, fun film, and I'm glad I got to see it this evening. Sorry I'm not in my car reviewing it, but, you know, pickle in it. Okay, thanks for listening. Katie out.